So you've been trying to chase your goals for a while now, but progress seems difficult to make, if you've made any at all. You know, we typically try to achieve things by identifying what we want and then making a plan to go and get that thing. But sometimes, no matter how hard we try, we just can't seem to get anywhere. It feels like the world is working against us, and that's because it kind of is. The way you act in the world is a complete representation of the way you internally think about yourself, the way you internally define yourself. If you see yourself as an unconfident person, you're not gonna suddenly just become this confident god, but you've accidentally programmed yourself to see yourself in a negative way, in a way where you don't see yourself as someone good enough to achieve the goals you've set for yourself. But in this video, I'll explain how you can start to change the way you see yourself, start to reprogram your self-image so that it not only stops holding you back, but actually helps you make progress towards what you want. So like I said before, the way that you act in this world is a complete reflection, a complete representation of how you define yourself internally. In a kind of simplified way, there are two things you should know about here: your self-image and your ideal self, where your self-image is essentially the representation of how you see yourself in your own head, in your own subconscious. This is who you believe you are. And you also have your ideal self, which is who you want to be. It's the dream version of you, with all the characteristics and everything that you would design yourself to have. And essentially the gap between these two things is what causes the problems. It undermines your self-esteem and causes you to not achieve what you'd ideally like to. Because if you're not the person that you want to be, then you're not going to achieve the things that the person that you want to be would achieve. You're never going to achieve your goals until you are the person who is able to achieve those goals. You need to work on yourself first and become the person you need to be before you will achieve what you want to achieve. You must become the ideal version of yourself on the inside before the world appreciates and recognizes it on the outside. So transforming your self-image is bridging the gap between your current self-image and your ideal self. That's kind of the process we're trying to do here. Some examples of this could be like social, so with your friends, if you have any, the gym, and your career. If you see yourself as an unconfident person who struggles to make friends, somebody who struggles to go to the gym and can't lift very much weight, and somebody who struggles to progress in a career and can never figure out what they want to do, then guess what you're going to be? Your self-image is literally just a construct of what you think about yourself. And I say literally because I mean literally what you think about yourself. Your self-image is nothing more than a reflection of how you've chosen to think about your experiences. If you're constantly thinking you're not confident, then you're not going to be confident. And the feedback from your experiences influences these beliefs, which is, for example, why attractive people are confident, because they've received feedback in the past telling them that people like the way they look. And this causes positive or negative looping. So essentially, if you have an experience where somebody thinks you're ugly and calls you ugly, that experience is then going to cause you to think, oh, well, I'm ugly, which is then going to go and influence your self-image to make yourself see yourself as uglier than you previously did, which is going to make yourself act less confident in public, which is going to make more people see you and think of you as less attractive, and the cycle just loops. But you can flip this so that it works the other way. So you can be cycling in constant negativity or constant positivity. So I want to keep this video short and neat, so I won't go into too much detail, but essentially this is how you go about transforming your self-image. So like I said earlier, if your self-image, which is in your subconscious, is literally just a construct of what you think about yourself in the conscious mind, you can manually take control of the thoughts you think if you are aware of them. Be present in the moment right now. You can think about anything you want. And in a nutshell, that's literally it. You need to strengthen your present moment awareness so you have more control over the thoughts you think, and then alter them towards a positive reflection of yourself, what you want to think about yourself, what you want to believe about yourself. And you can literally just control and manipulate your thoughts to think anything you want about yourself. It's literally like a cheat code in a game. I don't want to sound like a nerd, but it genuinely is. And like I said in my last video, if you're in such a negative mental state that you can't force yourself to think anything positive, then just don't pay attention to your thoughts. You need to learn to let negative thoughts pass and pay attention to the positive ones, is essentially what I'm saying. That's literally the key to everything, I swear. This is like the biggest thing I ever discovered in life. And once your self-image is where it needs to be, you'll actually start acting like the person you want to be. And when you start acting like the person you want to be, you start to achieve the things like the person you want to be. And meditation, I swear to God, God, this thing is the solution to everything. You'll hear me mention it all the time. This is how you best train the skill of thought management. That's why it's so popular and all successful people do it. It is genuinely such an incredible tool. But that's everything I wanted to cover. I hope that all makes sense. If you enjoyed the video, then go follow my sick Instagram where we have 11 followers and no posts. And thank you for watching.